Welcome to Carl and Heather Present,
the podcast where we dive into the insights, challenges, and humor of being married to someone who is nothing like you.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Oh, don't you know it's Carl and Heather Present Marriage Podcast.
Rolling.
I'm a 5.0 with my right top down,
so my hair can't blow. The crew is on standby, waiting just to say hi. Did you stop?
No.
Just drove by, kept on. Pursuing to the next stop. I'm bust a left on the next stop. The block is dead, yo, so I continue to A1A Beachfront Avenue.
Okay, that's it. I love it. Okay. Keep that audio, though, because that was funny at the beginning.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 8 of Carl and Heather Present, the podcast about how to stay married to somebody who's nothing like you. This week, a special look, a special feel, because it's Thanksgiving week, and we're here with our 4 sons. Welcome, guys.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
So glad you're here. And why are they here, babe?
Well, it's Thanksgiving week. The holidays are starting. Oak is home from Lee University. All the families together. So it's going great. Oak, how's it going in college?
It's going great. I'm loving it.
What has been your most favorite part? Like, what's the thing you like the most about college so far?
Dunkin' Donuts, the Dunkin' on campus.
You have become quite a connoisseur of the iced coffee,
I love
right?
me some iced coffee.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then has there been something that has been hard? Like, what has been the hardest part of school for you?
Probably just being away from you guys, being away from my friends. So,
Extra points.
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, insert tear. All right. Well, we're glad to have you home, and we're glad to have all of you boys with us today. Yeah.
Yep. We're getting ready for something that we've talked about a whole lot on this podcast. We've announced it at the end of every episode so far, but this week is Thanksgiving Miracle Breakfast. It's our favorite event of the year where we host about 100 people at our house for breakfast. All of you guys have never missed a Thanksgiving Miracle Breakfast. We've done it every year of your lives, and so it's happening. It's happening soon.
Yep, it is. And you're right. We have a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
In it. And they all come and they eat breakfast at our house. And we pay for it, right?
Yes. Wow. That's the part I always try to forget about. How do we do that?
Yeah, well, it's the Lord. I feel like the Lord pays for it. He is so good to us, and He provides always.
All right. Well, we do have the boys here, so we want to take a second to introduce the boys. I hope everyone's feeling good about being on a podcast. Have any of you guys ever been on a podcast episode before?
Nope.
Ah, cool.
Okay.
All right. Well,
This is it.
let's just go around the table. We'll introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Ezra. I'm 16.
Hi, I'm Abe, and I'm 15.
I'm Oak, and I'm 18.
I'm Ike, and I'm 13.
Wow.
Awesome. Well, this podcast is going great so far. Guys, our guys have even listened to it. Like, you guys have even listened to it and told your friends, like, hey, save this for when you get married one day. Oak even said last night, he said, I'm going to save this for me and my wife for when we get married one day so we can listen, which is really cool. And we're excited. So before we jump into our content today, I do want to honor the listeners who've commented, because we have listener comments from Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, Apple, and Spotify, and from our website, carlandheather.com, right?
Yep.
So I want to go over a couple of those. Barry in Las Vegas, Nevada says, longtime listener, first time caller, who wrote your intro song? It rocks.
Thank you very much, Barry. I humble brag, but I came up with that all by myself. And yeah, so the Carl and Heather Present theme song is
Original.
It's
an original work by you, Cartee. I'm proud
it's
of
really
you.
good.
Okay. And then at Joshua Arnold 7484 says, thank you for talking about this. Also, I can highly recommend The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry as well. It's a great book. I've been married for 20 years and have an 18-year-old college student and a 13-year-old at home. This is totally relevant and useful. Can't wait to hear the next one.
I think Josh was commenting on our episode about margin.
Right.
and how to kind of jump off the crazy train. So that's episode 1. If you haven't listened to that yet,
Yep.
check that out.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Josh Arnold, 7484.
Yep. Love it.
Thanks for commenting, everybody. Keep them coming. Be sure to like and subscribe on the platforms that you go to.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool thing everyone says, right? Yeah. Okay, let's go.
The boys are keeping us cold. Well, if you've missed,
I have lots of riz when I say things like that.
We're going to have to edit that out.
And am I Sigma or not?
He's a signal. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you missed last week, we talked about intimacy and marriage. So go back and check on that, specifically sex. And if it seems appropriate to us that we would have the boys on this week as a follow-up to that, because you guys are here as a result of that, right? Yeah. But we really wanted,
Super awkward.
we really wanted you guys here because we're talking about just not part of our marriage, but something that has been a cornerstone of our culture and our marriage and then our family culture, and that is gratitude. So today we're going to be talking about gratitude.
And so the reason we talk about gratitude is this, that God commanded all throughout the scriptures for people to express gratitude. It's everywhere throughout the Bible. And I think anytime something comes up over and over and over in the Bible, God is saying, pay attention to this. I want you to get a hold of this. Look for this. Practice this. And I think gratitude is somewhat of a superpower. And we've taught you guys that since you're little kids. Giving thanks for things helps to tune your heart to God's activity, to his presence, and to his power at work in your life. So it's really good for your mental and spiritual health. And it's a practice that we've kind of cultivated in our family. And that's why we're talking about it today.
And you mentioned, babe, that it's found all throughout Scripture. It's not just this idea that we've pulled from the air and we said, well, we're just going to kind of put a cornerstone for our family as gratitude. It's something that we've studied and we've found all throughout. And so I love how you can look throughout Scripture and it's marked by people looking back and being thankful, looking at their current circumstances and being thankful, and then looking ahead to what God is going to do, being thankful. I love Colossians 3:15 through 17. I want to read it. And it says, and let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in one body, and be thankful. And whatever you do in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. So boys, today we're bringing you guys in to help us with this, to express the goodness of God in our lives. And we've asked you to share some ways that you've seen his goodness. And let me just let you guys know, our listeners know, that this is just an extension of something that we've learned from somebody else to do almost on a daily basis in our family. And it's our highs and lows at our dinner table. And every night we go around and we say a high and a low, something that we're thankful for. And if there was a low, we say that as well. And we always have to have a high. You don't always have to have a low. And I've had people push back on that and say, well, you shouldn't really necessarily say that, they always have to have a high. But in our world and the way we live and our hope and our perspective is in Jesus and what's to come, we really always do have a high. We always have something to be thankful for. And so even if our current circumstances may not feel like something that we're thankful for, we can always look ahead to what Jesus is doing in our lives. And we can also look back to what he's done in our lives and be thankful. And so we want to engage you guys in this process.
All right. So let's jump in with both feet. Your mom and I have talked enough. I don't know what it must be like to be the children of people that talk a lot and talk for a living.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop talking
Yep.
and get you guys in on the mix. We want to talk and ask you guys, where have you seen the goodness of God in your life over this past year? So we're talking about just this past year. Thanksgiving is an awesome time to talk about the goodness of God in your life over this past year. And we're just going to go around the circle and each one of us kind of talk about that. Easy, I'll start with you.
All right.
I think that's what my paper says. You want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go first.
All right.
All right. buddy. Let me say this too. We're a nickname family. I'm a nickname person.
Yeah.
If you know me, if we're friends, I give everyone that I can a nickname, and it's usually close to their actual name. So you're Ezra. I always call Ezra Easy. I call Abe Daber. I call Ike. His is a little different. I call him Porky, but I probably won't call him that because I'm not supposed to call him that. And okay, I can't. Okay, and then I call Okie. So anyway, if it's confusing, everyone introduced themselves with their regular name, and now we're not going to use those anymore in this whole podcast. So easy. Where have you seen the goodness of God in your life this year?
So beginning of the year, I was actually really struggling with my relationship with you. So I think it was me being lazy and just kind of like not wanting to listen. But through that, I've seen God prosper, and we've been like doing wonderful. Like for the first half of the year, it was so tough. And I mean, there were points where I didn't want to be in the same room as you. Like I didn't want to be around you. I didn't want to like just even hear your voice. Like it wasn't good.
You would not be listening to this podcast.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beginning of the year, I wouldn't listen to this
Well,
podcast.
and I think some of the reason for that was like I got frustrated with you, but like you can be frustrated, and that's not necessarily bad. But a lot of times, frustration makes people angry. It leads them to act and behave angry. And I think because I was frustrated with you, instead of like having patience and trying to help you along your way, I just got mad and frustrated, and that came out sideways at you many times. Mm-hmm. And what do you think helped us turn it around?
I mean, it was really just the Lord. Like, there's no other like answer or reason. It was the Lord, and also that letter you wrote me at Pine Cove.
Yeah.
That helped me.
What's that? What did I do there?
You wrote me a letter, and it was basically like an apology, and it was just saying that you're proud of me and that you're sorry, and I really like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was a secret letter until now.
Everybody knows.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Thanks for saying that, man. And I'm super proud of you. You're doing good, and I'm glad that you and I both can see the goodness of God, even in our relationship and in the hard places. I think you and I disagree the most because we're the most alike in our family, and I think that's the way the Lord made it. But I love you. I'm proud of you.
I love you too.
All right, let's go. Let's go over to Ike, aka Porky. Ike, tell me something that you're grateful for, or a place where you've seen God's goodness in your life this year in 2024.
So a few months back, I had basically a curse and an issue with my health, basically. Mm-hmm. And we prayed about it, and it was just so powerful that I started just bursting out into tears. I couldn't. Tears of joy, obviously, but it was just so powerful. And then a couple days later, my curse was just gone, and I felt the power of God really move through me.
God healed your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful story. I remember praying for you that night, and I'm thankful too that God worked in your physical body to deliver you from something. Yeah. Very cool. All right, Daber or Abe, let's go. Where have you seen God work in your life, the goodness of God this year?
I've really seen the goodness of God this year displayed through my friends. They really supported me in a hard time when you lost your job, and I had a ton of
Wait a minute, I lost my job.
I'm sorry. Okay. I didn't want this to happen here. But
I just have a new job, and it's this podcast.
But yeah, I just had so many questions, and I was scared I was gonna lose friends that I had at the church, or have a loss of community that I had built up there. But I took solace in the amount of people that reached out when they found out, or when I would tell my friends and stuff, they would ask what they could do, and I obviously took solace in God, but having like friends there to help me through it was really helpful for me.
Yeah. Anybody that comes to mind that you shout
Shout
out?
out Dylan.
Awesome. Dylan's a good friend. I love Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to next in this coming year?
Driving.
Driving? Okay. An actual car?
Drivers.
Yeah. All right. Maybe we should start a Patreon part of this account so we could pay for our auto insurance.
Yes. Amen to that.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. All right. Finally, Oki, talk to me about where the goodness of God has been at work in your life this year, 2024.
Yeah, I've definitely seen his goodness, like his provision for me in school, like specifically at Lee. It's been really cool.
Yeah. You're in college at Lee University.
Yep, go Flames.
Go Flames. Where's that? Where's Lee?
It's in Cleveland, Tennessee.
What are you majoring in?
Youth ministry.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're going to be a student pastor one day?
that's the goal. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. And so how did God provide? Like what's a little bit of that story?
Yeah, so
Before you tell it, I couldn't help but notice you got a toothpick in. Is that like part of being cool and stuff?
well, we got it from Waffle House this morning.
Oh,
so
yeah, okay.
Should I take it out?
No, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
it looks cool.
Thanks. I
just-
feel cool. I feel
all right.
cool. What was the question?
How? Tell me a little bit of the story about God providing for you at Lee.
Yeah. So originally the plan was not to go to Lee. The plan was to stay here and do community college. And we toured Lee, like looking at it for a school like that I would transfer to once I got my associates. So we toured Lee and we ended up just like loving it. Mm-hmm. Felt a lot of peace while we were there at campus, and like it felt different from every other college that we had toured. So we got home that day and we just kind of sat together and we prayed and we were like, hey, Lord, if there's a way for me to go to Lee this year, go as a true freshman, make it happen. So we prayed and we kept praying, and I ended up getting some more scholarship money. It wasn't that much cheaper to stay here. So, now.
It's our dog.
And our other dog. We're dog sitting. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but now I'm at Lee.
Keep going.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm at Lee and I'm loving it. It's going great. And yeah, I can just see like the Lord throughout all of it, and I can still see him and his goodness and his provision, even while I'm still like in classes and stuff like that. It's been great.
Awesome. Well, we miss you around here, and we're glad you're home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, Thanksgiving is coming up. We talked about that, and Carl's already mentioned our favorite tradition is Miracle Breakfast. And one of the things that I love about holidays is it creates a lot of nostalgia for me. And I understand for some people listening that looking back or being nostalgic about something might not always bring a positive spin to it. But it does also give me the opportunity to look back in my life, like I mentioned earlier, and see how God worked even through the hard things. And Dabes, you talked about that, about how that's not necessarily something you would have chosen for our family, but you saw God's provision in your friendships, right? And I think we all have stories like that. We're not looking back with rose-colored glasses on, pretending that nothing bad happens, but with the choice of seeing the ways that God worked through all of it. So we take time to look back and be thankful. So boys, I want to ask you another question. As we look back into our lives, Dad asked you to look back over this past year. I'm going to have you look back further and ask you about some memories maybe that you've had that you're thankful for, that we've had or we've shared as a family. So share those with us. And who wants to start? Anybody? Ike, okay.
A memory that I really love is just breakfast date with Dad.
Okay.
Because
Come on, I call dibs.
we just get to spend time just one-on-one, man-to-man, really. It's just, young man-to-man.
Yes.
Say a little bit about what breakfast date with Dad.
Yeah, so tell us about breakfast date with Dad. When is it? What is it? Where is it? That kind of thing.
Okay, so it is basically where one of the four of us goes to breakfast with our dad at Waffle House every Friday. And we rotate off every Friday. And we basically just eat breakfast and talk about life and what's going on. And
I love it. So it's a special time for you and a special memory as you look back, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. All right. Who's next? Abe?
Oh, since it's first come, first serve, apparently.
Okay.
My favorite is about your favorite memory. Yeah. All right. My favorite memory is doing 10-year-old trip with you, Dad. So basically, for those of you who don't know what that is when we turned 10, our dad took us on a trip of our choice anywhere in America, and I went to.
Sounds awesome.
Let's do something wrong. So I chose to go to Washington, D.C. It was a lot of fun. We rode electric scooters, saw the Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial. It was a very cool experience. Had a big impact on me. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Who else?
I got it.
Oh, I saw the hand
Yeah.
first.
Okay. I was gonna say breakfast date with Dad, but I had to change it because someone stole it from me. My favorite memory is definitely putting up Christmas decorations together. We're a Christmas in November family, so November 1st,
Yeah.
we try to get the tree up as soon as possible.
All Saints Day.
Oh yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Blasting the Christmas music. But it's always such a good time, and we're always like very intentional about like setting time aside to do that as a family and like do it together. So don't leave anybody out.
Love it, love it.
All right, go easy.
One of my favorite memories from us was our RV trip where we went across the Midwest in an RV for about a month and just had a great time seeing everything.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of that trip?
Probably getting to see the Grand Canyon. That was awesome.
Remember that?
I loved that.
That ice cream.
Oh, Mount Rushmore ice cream though.
What's that? What is the Mount Rushmore ice cream? Remind me again.
Thomas Jefferson made this ice cream. Like
They still have
all
some
his
left?
ingredients. No, it's his original. It's
Old ice cream.
More of a vintage.
it's his original recipe for ice cream. I would imagine, but it is probably the greatest ice cream ever.
Okay.
If you haven't had that ice cream, you haven't lived.
Is it locked in?
Oh yeah.
Does it have Riz?
No.
Yes.
No. You can't rizz up somebody with an ice cream cone.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, babe, how about you? Any memories that you look back and you think, oh, this was a fun memory for our family, or a memory that I'll always think of when I think of our family?
Yeah. We have a thing where we do family walks. So it's costs nothing, which I love that feature. But we'll just all six of us go on a walk together around our neighborhood where we live and talk, laugh. Sometimes we have foot races. Oak wins them all. Yeah. I remember the first time I thought I can still beat Oak in a foot
you've
race. And
always
it was
thought
like
that.
it was a
can't.
terrible defeat. Like
Yeah.
I was humiliated.
Yeah,
he was
it
like
was.
maybe 10 times faster than me.
It felt like
And,
the layman's lane at the Olympics. You know how we talk
Yeah,
about how there should be a regular person running at the Olympics?
yeah.
It kind of felt like what that would look like if there was like the Olympic athletes and then like a regular person running beside them.
Yeah. It was really, really good. But like, so the family walk, like tradition where we just go on a walk. There's no programming. There's no plan. There's no destination. It's not supposed to last a certain amount of time. But we just go and be together. That's something that I'm really thankful for. And I love it. What about you?
So we talk about Miracle Breakfast, and I love all the things about Miracle Breakfast, but one of the things that we do is we put butcher block paper on all the tables and Sharpies and just give a prompt of I'm thankful for. And then at the end of the day, after everybody's gone, we all walk around and kind of look and read what everybody said that they're thankful for. And you get some of the like normal ones like food, and you do some Miracle Bacon, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I have a
maybe you
secret
can
recipe,
post that somewhere.
bacon
you can,
recipe.
once you decide, or it might remain secret.
I can't
don't
let
know.
go of it yet.
Okay.
It's just
As well. So people say things like that, but then they also talk about really like big things that the Lord has done in their lives or ways that they're thankful. And so it's just really special. I don't know. There's something about how gratitude multiplies when it's shared. And how if I share with you what I'm thankful for, something happens in your heart. And the same thing for you to me. When you share something that you're thankful for, it reminds me to think about all the things that I'm thankful for. And so when I see that with our friends, I think, oh, that's really cool. It's a really cool thing to look at. So anyway, boys, we love y'all so much. Like, so thankful that you were here with us this episode. And one of the things that I want to encourage you guys, as you grow up and start your own families one day, and everybody listening, and we say this, we have to remind ourselves of this all the time, is that the best investment that you can make into your kids is investing in your marriage. And so that's what we want to do with this podcast. But today we wanted to do that to bring in some of the best investments that we've made, and that's our kids. But we want to continue to invest in our marriage. So,
and I'd say that goes for people who have stepkids, grandkids, all kinds of things. If you're married to somebody, you and your spouse working on your marriage and giving kids a picture of what it would look like for two people who are nothing like each other, to love each other well and to put Jesus at the center of the marriage, that's the best investment you can make, however your family looks.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, well, babe, do we want to talk about where we're going?
Are we wrapping this thing
We're
up?
wrapping it up.
Already?
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah.
Does anybody have like a hilarious joke or anything to say before we go?
Oh gosh.
Got them flat-footed.
On the spot.
Yeah.
On the spot. No.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me get into this. We always love to talk about where we're going to be because we love it when we meet people in a live setting who are listening to the podcast. Our schedule of events coming up, you can see all of these details on carlandheather.com. But we just got the spring schedule for 2025. Weekend to Remembers will be in California, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Florida. If you want to come to Family Life's Weekend to Remember, come see us. Also, if you use the code Team Cartee when you register, you'll get $100 off registration. Babe, what's the website for that place?
Website is just familylife.com.
Familylife.com. Go to familylife.com. Weekend to Remember is a great way for you to invest in your marriage. It's always amazing speakers. Heather and I are on the team, but every single couple that speaks at these, they're worth listening to. So check that out. We've got Miracle Breakfast coming up November 28th, this Thursday.
Yep. Send us, if you want to come, you're local, send us a message. We'll send you our address. We'd love
Absolutely.
it. And the only thing you can bring is something to be thankful for.
Everyone's invited.
Yep. And then February 8th, next year, 2025, is the Behold Women's Gathering. That's going to be held this year in Franklin, Tennessee. You can go to our website to find out more about it, or you can register directly at beholdgathering.com. And we have some amazing speakers and worship leaders lined up this year. Registration is open. We'd love to have you join us. We were actually almost at capacity last year, so grab the tickets now before they sell out. And if you want to bring your church or group of girlfriends, we offer discounted rates for groups. So we'd love to have you be a part of that.
And Behold Women's Bible Study.
Yeah.
As a Bible study, your mom wrote a Bible study, guys.
That's great.
Pretty amazing. Can you believe it? Yeah. She's an author.
Yeah, you can get that on Amazon or through our website at carlandheather.com. And then Carl mentioned some events that we're doing. We'd love to bring this sort of thing to you and to your church and your community. So
The boys can come if you want them to, but they don't have to.
Absolutely. For an additional fee.
For an additional grocery bill.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in having us come to your church or marriage event, reach out on social media or at carlandheather.com. We want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, right? Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We're thankful that you've taken the time to support this podcast by listening. And whatever you do this Thanksgiving, we hope that thankfulness will be your story as you tell others of God's goodness.
All right. And join us. Next episode next week comes out as we give you a look into the stuff that we think is funny, where we'll talk about mispronunciations and misunderstandings of things that we've heard people say over the years. It's a completely goof off episode. It's just having fun and keeping it light. And I got to be honest, I'm really looking forward to it. So we're going to talk about some of these things, some famous stories from our marriage about misunderstandings and miscommunications. All right, guys. Hey, Oak, Ike, Abe, Ezra, thank y'all for being on today. You did a pretty good job for your first podcast episode.
You did a great job.
All right.
Yep.
We love everybody.
We'll see y'all next week. Together's better.
Together is better.
Let's bring it in.
Boom.